All right. Oh my God. There's so many people hanging out, I think. Oh, yeah. We got 40 people in here. I think it's time that we dive into the most controversial movie of all time that, you know, caused politics and divides and friendships to end, families broken apart. And that is The Last Jedi. What's up, everybody? Elijah, I Like Pigeons, Lord Vader, Christina, Michael. Yeah, no worries if you don't like the movie. Sorry, guys, I have to adjust my mic for a second. Might be a big boomy sound. Um, Voice is a little raspy today. I don't know why, just is. But yeah, welcome. Don't worry if you guys mid-level like the movie, love the movie, whatever. We're just chilling today. We're gonna do another watch along, and I'm just gonna watch what you guys say and watch the movie, and you can ask me whatever you want, and I'll probably sing to the movie and be weird, because that's what these are. This is basically just my social time between doing dad stuff and getting prepped for tomorrow's my daughter's first birthday. Well, actually, her real birthday was Thursday, but tomorrow the party happens. So I went out earlier to get plates and all that stuff, and then my wife's going out after this to go get the cake, and then I'm going to be watching the kids and making them food. So it's a busy day, and then everything tomorrow is going to be crazy, but it's going to be awesome. So I hope everybody is ready to go. Chat, what I need you to do is everybody to give me a yes for when you are at the 0 mark on your TLJ, wherever you're streaming it from. So once I get a bunch of yeses, I'm finally going to start pressing play, but I will give you a countdown. We're going to do a 5 to 1 countdown with a spacebar press. Let's see how many people are queued up. Oh no, Taylor, it's being slow, huh? All right, let's give it a few seconds. Oh, but I mean, I still like Tross. Tross isn't a perfect movie. It's kind of goofy and silly and contradicts a lot of things. Um, but yeah, you guys know what I think about that movie. It's a mess, but it's fun. Kylo Ren is kind of bizarre in that movie, but still. I hope you guys who follow me on Twitter, I made a stupid, hilarious song of me singing about Ben Solo dying. I don't know why. Just felt compelled to do it. All right, so a lot of yeses. Still a no, though. Hopefully some yeses sooner. What I will do... Oh, let me show that. Yeah, the Raylo's going to happen today. It's happening, folks. Even if you don't like it, it exists now. But we're just going to go for it. We're going to start soon. And I will just give updates of the time code as we go. And hopefully this stream doesn't get stopped either. I made sure the audio can't be heard, so hopefully the movie's audio doesn't poke through. So, let me make sure I got this queued up properly. I am at 000000 on the time code, and I'm going to start counting now. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. So we have the Lucasfilm logo coming up. Amazing. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. All right, looks like we're good. The audio is not poking through, but oh my god, the movie is so loud where I am. I think episode 8, The Last Jedi has the best opening scroll or crawl for the entire trilogy. Does the chat agree? Dale, let me know when you're live and I'll give you the time code. Right now I'm at 49 seconds. Yeah, let me turn this down a little bit if there's audio. It might poke through a tiny bit. Yeah, does this, even though this is like a day later, I still think it's awesome. Like this whole intro, just It's got the same vibe as like Duel of the Fates, where it's just like the iron fist of the First Order. Like they actually feel like a threat in the beginning here. Okay, cool. So it sounds like most people are good. Let me give you another time code again. We're at 1 minute 33 seconds. All right. I also love that Rian Johnson chose to tell Williams to use the original Star Wars Q transition here. That flute. Ooh. The music in this movie is phenomenal, guys. I dare say, most original score to me in the entire trilogy. I love how random this guy is too, right here. The use of Kylo Ren's theme as the evil overarching theme of the First Order is brilliant. What is this guy's name? Poked out General Hux. Looks like he hasn't slept in 5 weeks. Yeah, you know, a little bit of the jokes with Hux was a bit weird. Also, this cue for the Dreadnought is so good. This feels like old naval battles, which is exactly what it is, but Captain Peavy, okay. I love this look. The two exchange, he's like, he just nods his head over at Hux like, what do you think, sir? I don't know, what do you think, sir? Yeah, the whole beginning is Jennifer Ladybug. It's like so tense. Until about 2 seconds from now. We're at 3:30 right now in the chat for time code. Now we're at 3:33. I actually like this part of it. Still okay with it. Like, I think this is funny. Still funny. Now it's not funny to me anymore. I just don't like this line. This is a little too funny. In a bad way. I would have just cut right to this after that initial hold and just, we would have been fine. But you know, I do feel like I'll get to your question in a second, Last Jedi. I do feel like also like he's supposed to be like sleep deprived, so maybe that's why he's like a bit like a buffoon. Because most of the time he's actually pretty good. Like he's just an arrogant general that just sucks. I mean, he didn't build Starkiller Base. He just was there to do his speech. If you think about it. Yeah, I agree, Pig Wars. Oh, let me give the timestamp. We're at 5:06. Now at 5:10. By the way, if you notice the X-Wing going by mimics Kylo Ren going by the Raddus later on. I like that little bit of like visual consistency in Rian Johnson's filmmaking. I don't know if you guys notice that stuff. Also, I think this movie has like the best TIE fighter battle. They're finally in space and it's just relentless TIE fighter destruction. It's so good. I know that this like initial battle doesn't make sense, but like if you think about the structure of the battle, but like I never really think about that stuff. I love BB-8 and like we've never seen something like this before with BB-8. I thought this was amazing. Like that's good humor to me. Oh, we lost audio for a sec. Okay, good. My live stream seems to be healthy. So apparently, like the dreadnoughts, underbelly cannon, the ventral cannons, whatever those are specifically called, were what was adapted to become part of the Sith Eternal Cult fleet, which I think is interesting, but it was never like told to us in the movie. Best destruction ever of a TIE fighter right there. I'll allow some vroom noises to go through. Yeah, the music is so good. Whenever it cuts back to Poe, it just feels relentless. Also, this music reminds me of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, I agree with you, Last Jedi. I think. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the watch along. I love March of the Resistance. Like, I get the bombers are slow or whatever, but like, that's why they have all the X-Wings to defend them, because they're so slow and horrible, but they have such a big payload that like that's what they gotta do. People are like, why didn't they have better ships? I don't know. Maybe it's because they're an unfunded portion of the Republic because they're illegal. R.I.P. other Porkins. We are at 8:17 right now, almost at 8:20. Like, I love how destructive the First Order is in this intro. Also, I think for the musicians out there, I think Rian Johnson is obsessed with the time signature 3/4, because this whole movie kind of has this like piratey kind of aesthetic with the music. Always dun 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 dun. And the whole movie has this 3/4 kind of compositional score to it. Never noticed that till one of my previous rewatches. Like, how cool is that shot with the bombs? Come on. This is like the kind of destruction we've never seen in Star Wars, and I think people got mad by it maybe because there was like overwhelmingly destructive to the Resistance. Like, they're like almost everybody's wiped out. That's like significant to keep the ship safe. But like, that's the point. Yeah, the bombers look cool. Yeah, Taylor, I'd say the way that Steve Yedlin moves through space, especially this sequence, up, like the way he like he tilts up, then tilts left, and tilts up, like he's like bringing you through spaces, is brilliant. I don't really see a lot of DPs that work like he does. I love that guy. Look out! Oh my god, I just blew up! This is the perfectly, like a perfect edited scene. I dare say perfect. What's interesting too is like the theme of the movie is almost happening right here. Down to one person facing the First Order to like deliver the final blow. And afterwards, they've sacrificed themselves like Luke. Like, but then like also like Poe faces the First Order alone too. A lot of stuff like that that I like. I love how much they draw out the cut there of like that thing dropping. And the tragedy of the music here as it drops, it's not heroic or anything. It's just sad music. brilliant. Because we don't know how to feel right now. Now we're like, God damn it. Tico's dying. I don't like this. Like, that's why, I don't know. That's why I like this movie. Poe's not sure if what he did is the right thing. Kennedy is being a legend. I can't believe that's a pickup. Let me give an update. We were literally at 1138 a second ago. Now we're at 11:45 time code. Dude, Leia's so bullshit. Poe dumbassed himself. Also, that thing, this looks like a big burning piece of pizza falling through space. Let me just look through the chat, see if I've missed anything. Yeah, chills. 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 What's up, Mason? I love Snoke in this movie. Oh my god. Oh, the way he falls. It actually, like, it hurts me. It's just weird seeing Snoke sometimes, though, thinking about what he really turned into. I had no problem with this opening of Finn. People think Finn got bamboozled in this movie, but I love Finn in this movie. I don't know. Like, he has no idea what's going on. He just wakes up and he's like in a white room. He was originally in a forest and he needs to know where Rey is. I get it. He's leaking, but like, it's awesome. Yeah, Pig Wars, that's probably fine. We're at 1340. Where's Rey? What a delicate transition to the island. Love the two flutes. Very quiet. I feel like when I was first watching this, like I was like kinda so surreal to see these movies like on their first watch. Wow, Star Wars is happening again. Such a good detailed hand of Luke's robot hand. The throw of destiny. Nuh-uh, girl. I ain't training you. I'm gonna go fish. I'm a dude. He's like, what? Master Skywalker. I think the Jedi structure things are so cool. Also, I just wish that there were fish nuns out every time that we saw this. There's also something about Octu that has that like undescribable, strange Star Wars vibe, even with the sound design. Yes, Porgs. The best thing that was ever created besides Babu Frick and a lot of other puppets. Octu equals Avalon? The X-Wing that should never have risen out of the water, even though I've kind of come around to enjoying that scene. I guess you could say all those trinkets allude to Luke's quest, right? I mean, that... I love that. I wish that there was like something underneath, like Chewie there being like, Luke, what the fuck? Just something like you fucking dick. My best friend's dead. Where were you? Imagine. Dude, best transition to the most badass boy ever. The most badass sad boy. This whole set is just gorgeous. This transition hits you in your soul. Dude's the Wizard of fucking Oz. Who's he talking about? Kylo? Maybe. I love that transition. How's your mood? That's what I'm saying, Cyber Leader. Should have had the Sith Eternal on his ring, I'm telling you. People are like, Anakin's not in this movie, man. Dude's mentioned in every fucking movie. I know he's not mentioned as Anakin, but like, that's not the point of this trilogy. I don't know. Imagine being told by your master that made you murder your father that he's like, meh. I think I could have done better than pick you. They should have kept in the scene where he wipes away his tears. I'm telling you. The way he says that. Killed Han Solo. So desperate. Hey, I love everything that happens here when he like loses it on Kylo. More importantly, Snoke gives an exact explanation as to why Kylo lost Rey within the first act of this movie. That makes complete sense, and people still can't fathom what happened in their mind. Look at his hair. Good God, man. Need that hair. What a line. You're just a child in a mask. He's having like an anxiety attack here. That's what I always thought about him. Like in a constant state of like physical fear, anxiety, that feeling of dread. Borderline depressed. Let me give you time code. 1943. I thought the smashing of the helmet here, while, you know, I love Kylo's voice. I love Kylo's voice in the mask. But I also just think thematically the smashing of the mask is brilliant. Everybody's telling him to take it off, and he's finally just like becoming his own dude. Yeah. If anybody knows this band, I think Kylo Ren would definitely have listened to American football. Never meant. Luke is so compelling to me in this. It's so cool. He's so he's so defeated that you're almost like, come on, because that's how we're supposed to feel. But then when you find out why, I don't know. I think it makes sense. Little Lord of the Ringsy here, right, guys? Let me tell you. Yeah, the counter thing didn't work. I tried to do a counter widget, but it just doesn't work on my Mac. We are at 21:20. Dallas Siren milking. Oh, nice, Last Jedi. I'll have to check that out. I love also like Luke's demonstration of like, this is my life now. This is the legend. You want to come back, help you. Like he's trying to get her just to be just so disgusted to get her to leave. But people get hung up on, why is Luke milking the titty? Like, dude, how cool is this? There's a demonstration of Luke's innate power without using anything regarding the Force. You just casually jumped a freaking canyon on like a Monday. It's like a Monday for him. Now he's just, it's Monday afternoon now. He's walking back in the rain. Work's over. Oh, nice, Last Jedi. That'll be cool. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie right here. I might be silent. Tross kind of makes this scene not as cool, but I just try to think of this as its own movie now, kind of. But I love how the Jedi text out to Rey. No worries, Twilight. Never apologize. My job to let you guys know where we're at. I'm at 2306, 07, 08. Or so around 2315 if you click it now. Like these scenes are so Star Wars-y in that ethereal way that's undescribable. You guys know what I mean? Also, some very feminine energy going on here. I wish that we got much more of what these books had inside of them. Who are you? Why does Rey know this place? I always was so curious. I would have loved this movie to stopped right here and went through every page. Luke doesn't know who she is. Come on. What's up, John M? Let me tell you what time we're at. 24:52. Why are you here? Because you're a Palpatine. I love the ambiguity of Rey's being terrified because she doesn't know about herself. I think that made her a lot more interesting. Yeah, true about dreaming about the island, but it's like you're this like destiny kind of the ancient Jedi themselves pulling at Rey. Like I felt like that was the vibe they were giving Rey. Like she had such significance to the Jedi and the Force itself. But I don't know. Emo fire breather, I'm with you. I can't handle sad Leia. Too sad. Too much sadness for Leia. You heard that? That was me sipping a coffee. Boom! Slap! That offended so many gamers. He's not lying. That's something we need to consider. Anybody love the subplot of the binary beacon? I think it's so cool. Like it, you know, I don't know. I want one of those. First order attacks. Also, one thing I want to point out as like a filmmaker person, like brilliant way of using the background characters in the Resistance, right? As they're filming the main people. Like, people are running for a reason, whereas in the JJ movies, they kind of seem like they're aimlessly just running around everywhere. You ever notice that? I tried to understand the idea of tracking through light speed and how it works, and I still don't understand how it works. But it doesn't matter. I don't need to understand. See, I feel like I bet Poe right there thought that his status was back in action because, you know, now he's going to save the day, theoretically. Again, I think what happens next is brilliant. Kylo Ren destroys more, like he's just furious right now trying to prove himself. And he just annihilates more of the Resistance, pretty much taking out the rest of their fleet. Actually, takes out all of it. People were like, "Oh, dude, he's not even dangerous." Dude's killed so many people in this in this trilogy. Yeah, the whole filming of this scene is awesome. Like the way that, like, when I say filming, it's just like it's digital, but like, to me, this is like an homage to the intro of Revenge of the Sith a little bit. Most devastating torpedoes of all time. This is a horrifying scene if you think about it. Like the most violent destruction. P.S. We're almost at 30 minutes. Brilliant tiny detail, the use of BB-8's head being suctioned back with that, like, magnetic sound. Radis is a pretty dope ship. I love the Supremacy too. Like, you know, I get some of the designs of the ships are a bit, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, what's up, Stuart? Hold on, I'm captivated by Kylo Ren's face. Kylo Ren can kill everybody else he resents except his mother. No, I definitely, a lot of people thought Leia was gonna die there. I never did. But I don't know if it was like definitive, if Kylo Ren thought she really did die there for the rest of the movie. But also, if you notice, literally every TIE fighter that was around him died on their way back to the Supremacy. So it was just Kylo at the end alone. Okay, Jennifer Ladybug. Thanks for clarifying. So this is a point of contention here, right? They're in space, which has no atmosphere, so velocity has, no meaning, right? Once you speed up, you just keep going that speed forever. So if they added more thrust, why not go even faster and get ahead of them, or jump ahead of them and come back? But like Star Wars is tactic, atmospheric tactic, so that's why. Also, this scene is brilliant, guys. I don't care what you say. Editing, the way her hand moves the particles around space when she's connecting to the Force. Brilliant. Maybe the eyes opening up. Maybe that's too much for some people. I don't know. And I never thought she was flying. I thought the idea was she's pulling herself towards an object. Like, I guess, I mean, the way it's filmed, it looks like flying. Also, when she goes through that, alluding to the Holdo maneuver, pretty awesome. I feel you, Spencer. Oh, I can tell you again where we're at if your movie's glitching. We're almost at 33 minutes. Ray's sleeping and Louis about to roast a pork. Actually looks pretty yummy. Now this humor worked for me. I love how sad that pork looks. Like, that was my wife. Come on. He just flies straight up away. I don't know. There's something uncanny, hilarious about that. I guess that's supposed to be like Rian Johnson's hand holding the dice. I love Luke's scene art too. Like, for a second, the old him kind of pokes through his like depression. I thought this use of Leia's like archival footage was clever. People knock on JJ for like the nostalgia use, but this was a pretty heavy use of nostalgia. Also, R2 moves his head, but the hologram doesn't move. I always thought that was funny. I thought it was interesting. I didn't notice this at like my first viewing, but Luke just like stands over people, like his Padawans, if you will, um, in menacing ways. Like, he just does that with Rey, and also in the flashback does that with Luke. Or I'm sorry, does that with Kylo Ren. See, they gave Akbar a little send off. They said Akbar only, and then all our leadership as secondary. Poe's like, yo, I'm gonna run this ship. Yeah, I also I figured yeah, his face when he hears about Holdo is hilarious. It is funny. He's like, oh man. I always figured that like she looked like this because they were like, oh, we need a Mon Mothma type. Yeah, people say like you're SJW if you like Holdo, I guess. I don't get it. The speech is kind of whatever, but like she just seems like the Mon Mothma insert. Yeah, my red Abby, I'd agree. I like how like surprised he is. Like that's Admiral Holdo, like kind of like a dick. If there is one thing I would say, I guess I would say it would have been a little better to make her suspicious of him a little more obvious in his can't even speak right now. Suspicions of her as like a potential spy in the hyper tracking thing. I guess that was like the idea, but it could have been a little more clear. That's about it. I kind of like how snarky she. I mean, isn't that the point? I don't know. He's like, you just got like a bunch of people killed, so like, shut the fuck up, sit down, know your role, and it's not being in front of me. Bye bye. I also think we needed that scene with BB-8 for this. I think just me though. Maybe you disagree. I get why she doesn't tell him. I think she just thinks he's like a little asshole. Like I literally think that's why. He's just like, why is this idiot that just got everybody fucked over and dead even thinking that he can talk to me right now? I think that's kind of what it was. A little bit of arrogance on both sides, maybe. Upon reflection, like I said earlier, Rose's hair is so Star Warsy. At first, I was like, yeah, normal hair. On rewatch, I was like, they try to go for like a unique, weird, fluffy Leia, but like low rent kind of Star Warsy hair. Maybe I'm more like into her character now because she got so like shafted in the Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. Yeah, the Night Watcher. I'm not against it. Like I don't think it's unreasonable, I guess, for him to ask about it, but I understand why. Imagine getting tased by that thing. Hey, no worries. If you guys need to go get lunch, no worries. Let me tell you where we're at. We're at 40 minutes, so we're at like just passing like 40 minutes 5 seconds. I love how she changes so quickly to like being no bullshit here. Like you coward. Boom. When I first saw that clip, I was like, "Oh, Rose is gonna be kind of a badass." They like teased that clip somewhere on social media before the movie came out. What's interesting is like I kind of get both their perspectives on each other right here of like what they're trying to do and why they're doing it. Like I get why Poe is fleeing. I get why she's pissed. You know what I'm saying? can't feel his teeth. Exposition. How is it that Ryan Johnson in the camera can make this exposition dump interesting, but JJ like circles around somebody at 5,000 miles an hour and it's just overwhelming? I don't know. Then we blow that one. Hilarious. Also, this graphic here of the supremacy is hilarious. When it just goes like bloop bloop, like the two little ships darting away. It's just like a little pew pew gun sound. Romantic luck. I wonder if Leia ever knew that Poe held her hand right there, you know? Maybe she wouldn't have appreciated it. Never know. Kidding. Isn't it kind of insane though? Like reflecting on the idea of like, let's just sneak you onto Snoke's ship. I mean, it's kind of bizarre, but it's a good kind of. I don't know. I like the going through Snoke's ship. The comic version of this scene is way better. Also, Maz Kanata actually having agency in this movie is incredible. Even though she's like a video game thing. No worries, Pig Wars. See you later. Thanks for hanging out. I need to know. There needs to be a comic about what that line is about. Very video gamey. Still fine with it. The chat. You guys are ridiculous. Oh, boys. Here he comes. What a cool little fuck. Putting his skin back together. I thought this was some weird shit when I first saw it, and I was like, in a good way. He's so like horrified, like he's like, "What the fuck is happening?" Then the sound effect is like. I thought this was like a perfect addition to Force strangeness. You need to add something in every movie. That's what they always do. So weird, but so interesting. Him saying that line like gave me chills in the movie. You're not doing that. The effort would kill you. He's just curious. Yeah, she's pissed. Yeah, that too. This is something else. I love that feeling. Like the elusive ambiguity of what the hell is going on. senses Luke maybe, but he really just alludes to her being an Octu. Probably thinks she's a fish nuns. Exactly, it's the foreshadow of Luke dying. People are like, why should you die from the Force, man? I don't know. Why did Obi-Wan fucking disappear when Vader sliced through him? Why don't you go sit on some milk? Yeah, that line is so good. I was cleaning my blaster and it went off. Ryan Johnson knows what he's doing. I would love to hike somewhere that looks like this Jedi temple. Where can I go that leads me up as giant steps to an awesome cave? Phantom Siren. Yeah, exactly. I love the way he delivers that line like an uncle that like just caught you nosing around in his garage. Is that too specific? Look at his heroic stance here. Come on. He's in there. Like how he's like, oh, I'm dealing with a dumbass. This scene gave me like so much intrigue when I saw it in the trailers. I'll explain why later. Yeah, he made her put on her clown Ireland. I know. He's just Yoda, guys. That's all he is. He's Yoda. I get it. Homage to Yoda. Mine, mine. He's smacking R2. Okay. Throws away a fucking. It's a blade of grass. The one blade of grass is that long in the rock area. This part's brilliant. Like visually, like the message. I'll read, yeah. Such an interesting montage way of showing what she's feeling. Never seen anything like this in Star Wars. I want him to do more. Rey's first training, Gideon? I love that line in this movie. To say that if the Jedi die, the light dies is vanity. Can you feel that? I literally thought that was the point of this whole trilogy. Yeah, we're now at 50-28. We're saying balance and things are about to split apart. No, not to be crude, but I love that there's just like a butthole on the island. It's hilarious. This is like the best scene though, visually. What are the screams? Why did it spit water at her? And what just happened with the water? She's wet. What did Luke just see? He's like horrified. You could argue he senses the Palpatine in her. Night Watcher, I'm with you. That line's kind of strange, right? It actually did scare him enough then. I love when Ray though is like, cut yourself off from the Force. Of course you have, and he's just like kind of like sweaty, like, how is she figuring out like this? Like, come on, porgs are the best thing. They should have stayed in the Falcon and Tross and been part of like Chewie's family. You should have adopted them, named them all, had friends. You know, they lived the Wookiee life with him. Force bomb. I love his contemplation. Kylo's no here so bassy. Or no, he's like, no, you do. The way he says that he's a monster now is almost like he's trying to, it's like he's trying to convince himself, but is also hurt by it. Interesting, like he's always around like metal and machinery, but there's still like a particle behind him. But she's like around water and it's spraying around, similar to like the sparking particles around him. Rian Johnson and like the cinematography, like they were really well thought out with portraying them as like the polar opposites, like but connected. You know what I mean? Come on, who doesn't like a mustache twirl from an alien? I love that like ding of of two people cheersing kicks off the sequence. Sequence a bit long, but yeah. To me, this is like the prequel homage. Like they're just like, yo, we got to get some prequel shit in there. I mean, these guys that are the cops look like the dudes that escorted Padme off of her vessel in episode 2. Also, this camera, like this scene right here, people are like, he ripped it off. Come on. What are we gonna start saying the minor scale is owned by somebody? Just a type of shot. I love Finn. Like, yo, gambling's my thing. So many weird aliens in here. It's the saving grace. I love that guy. Where your manners, boy? This is the only alien that looks goofy, right? Because he's CG. Mark Hamill, though, I believe. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Last Jedi. It's just like a minute too long in terms of what it's trying to do. Did we need the horse thing? I don't think so. Like this thing right here, I don't think we need it. With those giant horses that look like they're the kangaroos from Warriors of Virtue, which is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ripoff. Fathers. Honestly, the Night Watcher, I feel like it's because it has a prequel aesthetic, like literally in every thing. Like it's got that 1920s, like also sort of steampunk thing, and like they got the dome shapes on top of all the buildings. I don't know. Yo, that mole alien is disturbing. Imagine being a child having to freaking serve that guy. I'd have nightmares every night. Please, mommy, don't make me see Mole Man face. Norm 3, that's a question that we're always going to wonder. Probably like, is Jesus real? Who created the universe? And if they had to bring Palpy back, why wasn't Snoke just another apprentice? I think those three things are going to be the things at the end of all time that are still lingering questions. Come on, this scene is hilarious where it just goes to that romance music. Oh my god. Not now, lovely. Imagine having a square haircut. Also, tiny detail, BB-8 actually jingles with all the change that's inside of him from that drunk alien. I thought that was nice. Also, for the men out there that are, maybe watching this that hate this movie, here's Rey just, using her staff sufficiently. It's okay. Her music cue is amazing, right? It's interesting, like, the forms that she starts doing on here and then finding out that, like, the way she interacts with this rock is exactly how Kylo faces Luke. Just an interesting thing. I know Ryan was intending that, but like, I don't know. That's why I really appreciate this movie so much. The dude thought about what he was doing more than he was like, I hope people like it, so I'm gonna make it a lot like familiar. This joke was hilarious. I bursted out laughing. I literally laughed so hard when she caused their wheelbarrow to just explode. Yeah, Taylor, that could be it. Oh, he said Sidious. There's the link. Jennifer Ladybug, I did. Yeah, lesson two's happening, which is why I'm so silent. I feel like it makes sense. Like, yeah, I get that he lies here, but just like hearing him talk about the past and what was going on with the balance and all that stuff, I don't get why people don't believe this version of Luke. I love his Jedi temple. So cool. Very curious what really happened, like beyond the HUD explosion, because the comics allude to him, like Kylo not or Ben not slaughtering any of these people. So what do I believe? I don't know. Is the comic and all that point of view? Wait, like Luke's horrified that he created another cyclic event just like the previous generation. He caused it. So he ran away from it. I don't know why that's like hard to deal or hard to be okay with as a character movement through his life. Well, apparently Ray needs J.J. Abrams, right? Here's where the third lesson would have been. So that's another thing right there that people are like get hung up on. Like I said earlier, people are like, they're in space. They shouldn't lose momentum. Yes. But as J.J. Abrams said in his commentary, if this was a science documentary, you'd be correct. But this is Star Wars, and I don't care. That dude just exploded into flames. Do you feel like that moment could have been a little bit more tension involved with Holdo or something? But yeah, tidy wire. I'd agree with that. The way DJ is introduced, hilarious. I can do it. His feet is so gross. I just wish he didn't have the stutter. The only thing I don't like about his character. Not that I like. I don't have any problem with stuttering. It's just strange. It didn't feel natural or like. Another curious thing. He knows about Snoke's bedroom. It's interesting, right? I love that. He just opens it up and he's like, "Bye." It's like one wave. Can't mess with BB-8. This scene's a little goofy. I don't know if it's any more goofy than Anakin saying "Yippee" in The Phantom Menace, but you know, it reaches that level. Then again, primarily 8 or 9 year olds are watching. I mean, I actually like this jail. I thought it was an interesting kind of. It's like the Mandalorian where they go to like that station that's like, uh, with the New Republic holding area. It's just kind of weird, new, Star Warsy, but still like modern and updated. Dude, I like how weird the fathers look. Or was just like, what if we rode these? I always wanted to ride a 9 foot horse. I like these kids, but I thought it was curious. On my first viewing, I was like, I wonder how they know about like the resistance. Or like if they should care about the resistance. Just curious. Like, I don't know if were they born there and like that's why they're there. I don't know. So here we come to the point where like everybody in the world was like, I can't believe this is in the movie. I would have kept that scene out with the kid going woo. That's about it. I actually like the like police speeder ships. No, Dale, I know that. I just mean initially when like when they were first introduced, it was like a little peculiar how like they knew about that. And then at the end you understand like they kind of knew about those stories. Like this stuff was cool. The weird aliens at the bar and like just like I don't know. I thought that's the aesthetic of Canto Bight was awesome. Yeah, the lady singing was hilarious. Apparently those are like all eggs. The music during this is actually pretty awesome. Like those two aliens are just chilling, and then like horses bust out of the windows next to them. Imagine that happening to you. You just chilling, like talking to a girl late at night or something. All of a sudden, horses jump out of your window. That'd be pretty bizarre. It'd be jarring. That was funny to me. Come on, Dubrovnik. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I hear so much like some of the sounds of John Williams always goes back to for like certain emotional beats. Always kind of make me think of E.T. And I think The Rise of Skywalker does that big time. Dude, fathers are huge. They're beasts. I like them more than Orbaks. I'll give them that. Orbaks had that more classic fantasy kind of look to them, like made of our world with like a mask on, like Willow. Hey, what's up, just a Star Wars fanatic? Hey, saltier than Crait. I didn't see you're in here. What's up? I think it would be hilarious if it was just BB-8 flying this ship. Need a lift? He like breaks into a rap. I'm gonna resample that and make like a super dope song, chillwave song, but then speed it up. Also, this scene is one of those super ethereal, bizarro Star Wars things, and it's just weird enough, but you're like, I just love that sound, Luke. And then it's just like, boing, like a weird gong. Just got done working out. Look at those pants. Maybe he's afraid of showing his belly button. Maybe it looks weird. See, I love this exchange between the two of them. He's not like he's being an asshole, but he's also just like telling her straight up exactly what she's doing. The second vision is fucking awesome. I love this the green hue over him. And just Sith Eye crazy Uncle Luke here. Like, die, bitch! But he's just like a scared dude. Like, you could argue that is the truth of what Ben saw. We can't say that that's not how he saw it at all. It is his motivating factor. Luke created the fear that would blossom even more into what turned into Kylo Ren. Also, people that get pissed at this movie, they think the theme is to let the past die and kill Star Wars. But like that's Kylo Ren's point of view, and he's the villain who's like, you know, his brain doesn't work too well because he's not loved as he thinks he's not loved, and has a really perverted master. So, yeah, maybe he's not the most, you know, reliable person to think as the teller of the theme. Theme is failure. I love this scene. There's like that weird whisper of like a menacing voice before she falls in. It's so weird that she just like touches it and like now she's in this eternity of herself. Which to me, I guess originally, I guess I thought what was going on is like, this is just signifying like, who are my parents, right? She just sees endless versions of herself. What that means is she is her parents. Like you had to do the hard stuff. Here you are as a young woman now. Stop asking this question because it's driving you crazy. I mean, I guess the Rise of Skywalker doesn't really get rid of that idea, but it just changes the weight of the parental role in this trilogy in terms of motivating who Rey becomes. So I think what happens here, this is how I think Ryan played this. I think first this is like Han and Leia walking. Then I think it's Kylo, who she also potentially goes to think as a mentor, right? So it's everybody but her parents. But then the end result is really self. Maybe Ryan's whole point here too is like Rey needs to master herself. She did find answers. It's not exactly what she wanted. Key 21 because it's a dope movie. What a silly question. I think here, like now that he's connected, maybe you could argue he's aware of the situation at hand now. Like a Palpatine and a Skywalker in the whole picture. Maybe. It's a stretch. Yeah, I thought the hand touch through space and time here, like, fascinating. Like the one time he exposes his actual skin to like a human. Also, I made a gif of this where I made his hand like 100 times bigger, and it's hilarious to me. And now they're seeing that elusive future, right? That Rey in her hubris doesn't realize. Things don't always go the way she thinks they are. Luke is powerful as fuck. Just said stop and a hut exploded. Come on. You know, Christina, I think if I had to look back narratively, I guess if I try to make sense of it all, you could say that they both saw like not only the Praetorian Guard fight, but maybe the fight against Palpatine, and it was like a mishmash of those two things. So technically, they were both right, in a sense. The way he stops himself from actually hitting the ground is pretty. The literal fallen hero. Now, this is the true truth. I would have used this for a trailer, that VO. Now, I think this is like look how like disturbed he is by whatever he saw, which is the destruction of everything that he fought for, including like you know what I mean? Like he lost his mind when his literal family was threatened. Now his nephew potentially might cause the death, which he does, of his family and friends. But he realizes if he just goes through with this, it's just going to be the same thing, whether it's Kylo Ren or something else, another cycle of darkness. Fortunately, Kylo doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's already been poached. So this looks like the defining moment that his family's betrayed him. Just like a huge misunderstanding. Technically, she's right. If she goes to him, Ben Solo will turn. Does, sort of, but it's not necessarily because of her. Luke denying the call to action twice. Following the hero's blah blah. I love him gazing off at like the Falcon just leaving him behind. I thought it was so meaningful that he was stuck on this island and couldn't get off. That's why I was frustrated with the X-Wing thing. Like, the weight of his final act as a living person was so huge, knowing that he was stuck on this island. Also, there was no moment like this in The Rise of Skywalker. Like, this kind of, like, epic reveal. Important message delivery moment. Just really needed that. I love how, like, Yoda's still just fucking with him, too. He's like, there's nothing in that freaking tree, man. I'm just gonna burn it. Come to find out, this is the very reason why Luke was standing at the ledge of that cliff in The Force Awakens. Because he just couldn't bring himself to burn the tree. So Yoda just stops his stupid circle of this, like, habit of him trying to end something that's just an obsession. I thought it was great. I remember I saw an argument online that somebody was arguing with the actual puppeteer, like, that he didn't know Yoda's character well enough. Like, Yoda was also out of character, apparently. See, and I think this also hints at, when Yoda says that, page turners they were not, that, like, Luke didn't really read those much at all. Which makes the ciphers in the next book bizarre. Or in the next movie. This is also beautifully filmed. Like, just all the fire everywhere. One of the best sets. Take it easier, saltier than Crait. Thanks for hanging out. And it's true. Like, Yoda taught Luke in his exiled failure. Right? What a beautiful fucking line. Come on. In this final image of them with the fire burning. Like the end of a, like, perfect day. Except the tree's on fire. I love that Rose swivels around like Palpatine. Imagine if she was Palpatine in the end. Hazen Svelte, guys. I thought it was cool too that even outside of the Jedi and the binary thing that was going on in this movie with the Sith and Jedi and Dark and Light, Paige and Rose had the yin yang necklace thing, like their connection. Like I was saying, like, say what you will about this movie if you dislike it, but Rian Johnson wasn't just mindlessly going and crafting this movie. Like, a lot of things connect. I think it's pretty cool to pick up on. Do it. This is the one scene with DJ I really dig. See, and I think this is something Finn would absolutely not know about. Why would he know anything outside of his main orders? That as like as a trooper. People are like, he should know everything about blah 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 and be the leader of a derp. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have had this arc in this movie. But I'm like, I don't know. I think he's still. It's a day after the last movie, so I feel like he would still be kind of in that naive state of learning about the world outside of. Hey, take it easy. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out for for the majority of the movie. Where are we at? Are we even halfway? Yeah, we're in the last third. We're at 126.51, almost at 127. Poe's getting pissed. Now, one thing I will say about that line, which I love, about the sunrise and all that shit, I would have liked to have heard Leia say that at one point. Then to hear it here, and that's like a bond they share. They're both little, underlings of Leia. And they realize maybe they're not so different, but still mutiny. Second time you've heard traitor in this movie. A lot of traitors. Nobody has that super cool baton though, which would be cool. Imagine if like Poe had that and just knocked out Holdo. Traitor! Oh my god, Holdo. Chat, lawyer the weirdo. That made me laugh. Also, to me, this is a complete analog to Padme's death coffin. Come on. I think what Rey said there to Chewie's like, if you see Poe, tell him I know that he's force sensitive. Like, that's totally like Padme's death thing. Come on. Her coffin looks just like that. Imagine just being in that wild space. I think that alone takes some courage. I would be literally shitting myself in space if I was in something that tiny, flying through space. Come on. She does it with grace. The size of the supremacy is mind. They can create Star Destroyers in there. How big it is. Like a twisted. It really is like a twisted fairy tale of like a prince and a princess, right? Yeah, Jennifer Ladybug. Maybe, some of the way that Kylo Ren emotes visually with his face, like when he's not speaking during the scene with Snoke, he does seem kind of horrified at what Snoke does to her, and it's probably because of what he did to him for training, which we saw in the comic. But one thing the first two movies in this trilogy did really well was like letting you know that there's a lot of young people involved in the First Order until the First Order meant nothing. But like, I always liked that angle that they were like fanatics of the Empire rather than just turning into the Empire. Like young Nazi kids, right? You know what I mean? Like the Argentinian analog. I love when Eloaxi, whatever his name is, just like makes sounds. Also, so the scene with the iron just happened, right? Everybody in the theater when I saw this movie was laughing their ass off. I guess that was like a huge point of contention with a lot of people, like big fans of Star Wars. But I don't know. That was hilarious. I guess the Hardware Wars dude was pissed. Come on, evil BB-8 is sweet. He's just like, yo, we have a sentient trash can on our hands. Something is wrong. Henry Lewis. Right now, it's the elevator scene. We're at 131:40. Sometimes it's almost like they give like Rey the Vader-ish lines, right? Like the homage, like to the old movie. I'll help you. Oh, blah, blah. I don't know. A lot of playing around with stuff like that in these movies. All right, so he sees her parents, but he apparently, he didn't lie to her, but he did. The scene is so fascinating. If I exclude the Rise of Skywalker right now, yeah, Ben aroused. I mean, as far as the book is concerned and this movie, he did. It seemed, although Ryan Johnson did say for him, he left it up in the air. I think this was the subversion with DJ to make us think for a second he's a hero because he's giving her back the little Hasnian Svelte necklace. But no, subverted later on. And I like that. I like that he was just like in it for himself. It's your birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Jack. Happy birthday. I would sing, but I don't want everybody to pass out. Also, this is when the coordinates for hyperspace are plugged into the ship, which later help out the plot. I love that you can notice the pew thing with Holdo with Laura Dern actually saying pew. Poe's about to learn a lesson again. First he was slapped. Now he's about to get royally tased. Or stunned. To me, that thing looks like the thing from Back to the Future. 1.21 gigawatts. Maybe that's how they kept finding them through hyperspace. They had Doc Brown as a First Order general. Emmett Brown. I think the guy in white here is like underrated because he's so smug looking. Yeah, it's the flux capacitor. Ultimate crossover. Leia back in her gowns of white. I love when she just shoots him. Yeah, I think Phasma is still alive somehow. I think she just left the First Order and was like, you know what, screw this. They're gonna lose anyways. I do think like I don't remember why somebody has to stay behind. Is it because they have to scan to make sure that there's like a life form on board still? Can't remember. Good scene. A lot of pretty awesome prequel jewelry going on. This lady almost had nothing to do in The Rise of Skywalker either. I feel like she had like more significant role in this movie too. Was she in The Force Awakens at all? I can't even remember. So creepy. Come closer, child. I have candy. See, okay. I love this speech here about the light and dark and the strongness and the equalness of light and dark, and how it plays into the Duel of the Fates script with Mortis and there being two seats and all that stuff, one of light and one of dark to create balance. And that Kylo was like, we're going to be those two people. That plays so much more interestingly into this movie, into the whole overarching plot of Kylo and Rey, I think. Minus the reveal of Kylo killing Rey's parents. I think here too, Kylo's like, you played with me? Fuck you. I'm gonna stab you in about 2 minutes. Because now he's just like, I'm just being toyed with by everybody. My uncle, my family, now this guy. I do think Snoke's bullshitting a little bit. After all, he wears gold slippers. So, how seriously can you take him? Guys, what do you think the cruelest stroke is? Tell me in the chat. Yeah, this whole scene is just so intense. It's interesting, though, because, you know, Luke kind of looked into Kylo's mind using the mind probe, which is a dark side technique. So, yeah, questionable mentorship there. Yeah, I guess that would be it, having been killer. Titty wire. I love it was her tidy wire. I just called you titty wire. I feel like it would have been better if Snoke really was just a projection based off Palpatine, and we never saw him physically. Imagine if that's how this movie ended. Like, Ben actually just like cut her in half, and then it was like the last movie. Like, what the hell would the last movie be? I love Crait. Again, the scale of this ship. I wish we got way more for First Order trooper action though in this movie. Pretty like it just doesn't occur. This is pretty much it. And I like, you know, to me this is like Return of the Jedi's opening scene kinda, but different, a little riff on it. But we don't really see a lot of the action like we saw in The Force Awakens or The Rise of Skywalker, which one thing I think I would have dug a bit more. But how would they have done that? I don't know. You here? What up? Welcome to the stream. I see in this stream somebody said Raylo babies. I love how proud Hux is, but like he's about to become the ultimate bitch of the trilogy in the next movie. I mean, even at the end of this movie, he's pretty much that. Another funny nitpick people had, the arching of these beams, of these blasts taking out the resistance. They're like, it shouldn't do that. And I was like, I never even really noticed it until you complained about it. Yeah, Jack, it wasn't that good. Too quick. Dude, Snoke is just so... He's like Freddy Krueger with the Force. Although you're not asleep, so... I mean, it's more horrifying. I do think it's kind of sad that this scene happened again in a different way in The Rise of Skywalker. I won't dwell on it, though. Who loves the Praetorian Guard? I do. I don't care if you think they look like lobster men. I love their design and how weird they are. I wonder if, like, in this version, the idea that Snoke is thinking before he became a puppet or whatever was like fulfilling the training was to slay an innocent, or is it just to slay a Jedi? I don't know what Snoke was thinking before the final film, you know? Or if he truly did think that slaying him was the ultimate way to finish his training. And I thought this was brilliant to show his arrogance, Ben's cunning, right? Like, Snoke is so obsessed with his rightness in this moment. He fails to see something right in front of him and fails. Amazing. Also a great gif. I didn't see this coming at all. This I didn't know was happening, but I knew a few other things. I love how they just like look at each other here and they're just like, well, I guess we were both right or something, but now we gotta take out these dudes. The use of slow motion is amazing. Oh my god! Rey kicks 3 dudes! Ah! I think this is awesome. Nobody will convince me otherwise. Yeah, he does, Jack. Let me unmute that. Yeah, it's so good. My theater went bananas during the Praetorian Guard fight. They were like, what the hell? In a good way. Maybe. I don't know. I think this is sick. People are like, you think the sequel trilogy is dangerous? Are you serious? Like, people got killed in the Clone Wars, man. I'm like, okay, thanks. Watch those too. If you want a trophy, I can give you one. I love that how he's holding them back with the cross guard there. Love how Kyle's just like, shit. Like, that's what I think went through his mind right there. Like, he's like, Rey's not doing so good. I gotta take these guys out or else something bad is gonna happen. It would have been interesting to have a bit of training with the Praetorian Guard as like Kylo's main training. That would have been an interesting angle to use with them. I do get some people being like, "Oh my god, the danciness" or whatever. I mentioned that in my video on this, but like, I feel like that's just what happens when you choreograph something like this over and over and over and over again. I love when she just slices his neck in that music cue, like such a like 50s hero sound. Yes, lightsaber through the fucking head. Oh my god. Oh, James Woods. James Woods is sad. It's okay, James. Somebody re-edited this, I think, and like took all the women out, so you might like that one. I love that like Kylo just like stares at Snoke, and then he just is completely unhinged here. I like that like he doesn't even realize he has the same um mentality as Luke right now. I prefer this truth about Rey. So much better. Yeah, Westminster Abbey performances are great, I think. Such an interesting take on this story of the Skywalkers, like the true final guardian of the light, if it went the way that I thought it was going, was a nobody where the true chaos in the galaxy was the Skywalker bloodline itself in a sense. Like because it arose from nothing and caused so much havoc, like it would have been an interesting take to kind of say like it does need to be put to rest and somebody else need to take up the mantle as like hero of the galaxy. Here's Holdo being a badass. I still love this scene. It's never gonna get old to me. This movie has so many of those big scenes. Dude, Hux is such a dummy. Also, for those who can't understand, the reason Kylo Ren is so bananas at the end is because like he feels like Rey just like betrays him after this, like leaves him for dead. So, just to clarify, for anybody that was like always confused by why he was kind of like unhinged at the end, more than normal. Yo, these cool as fuck axes. We almost saw that this kind of stuff decapitate somebody in Colin Trevorrow's version of whatever 9 was going to be. That would have been insane. I think that kind of stuff is cool. Exactly. Yeah, Jennifer Bug. Yeah, exactly. I also think like for people to get hung up on the science of this, I don't think it matters if she almost entered, did enter, didn't enter hyperspace. It's just a thing that occurs that's like cinematic and exciting, and just like shut the fuck up about it. That's all I have to say. You pedantic fucks. Enjoy the movie. Amazing. Yeah, it's like that's such a long time between them. That is the most insane scene in Star Wars, I think. It's insane. I think this like the setting of this like battle with Phasma coming up is amazing. We're just walking down like, nope. We're gonna battle like it's Thunderdome. I will say, I think the BB-8 reveal was like a little goofy here. It's fine though. I mean, it is a droid controlling an AT-AT walker, so it's pretty badass. Maybe it's just that I wish it was practical. Oh, I love it. Yeah, this is so cool. This just makes me think of like Beyond Thunderdome for some reason. Like they're just in this like battle with like these kind of brutish weapons. Oh my god, Finn doesn't like that line. I like it. I think it's cool. Have you not seen this in a little bit? Like, I think that this fight is pretty freaking badass. And that kicks ass. Come on. Hey. Just takes her out. It was interesting using that as like her being vulnerable, right? Like now you can see her eye. Cause like I guess, you know, I read the Phasma book and like they wore masks. Like important. Bye, Phasma. At least you survived Game of Thrones, I think. Yeah, this was like the only. Yeah, I think this was the part where I was like, a little weird, a little goofy. Whatever. That's a huge ass ship. Oh, really? Tidy wire? I had no idea. That image of Snoke is hilarious. I mean, his body kind of looks like a puppet, so it would be interesting if like Snoke, like sometimes like didn't even blink, like in and out of his puppet stage of being possessed by Palpatine, all like scary like. Like if Kylo came in and he was just like not currently on, if you know what I will, and then finally like snaps to awareness. Dude, Hux is a dick. See, he's obsessed with like finding Rey now and just like annihilating her because he just got betrayed. His family's betrayed him. Masters betrayed him. Also, badass Vader moment. I think that dude James Woods or whatever from earlier would be sad to see this scene. He doesn't like Kylo too much. I love that. So I wish more of that kind of thing with like Hux knowing he has no power over Kylo, but still like wanting to just somehow best him in a more definitive way, like in Duel of the Fates would have been. Also, this shot. Come on. What a beautiful, perfect shot of Leia. Here, I kind of figured that he was going to be the one in possession of Snoke. I mean, not Snoke, Palpatine. Like, he'd be secretly recreating Palpatine. That is a giant door. Or as Poe says, big ass door. Imagine if they accidentally like shot their hands right there in this movie and like it was like, oh my god, Poe, what have you done? Like, no. Why not? Star Wars rated R. I think it's so endearing how Poe loves BB-8 so much. It's like literally his dog. Yeah, Leia doesn't fuck around. Leia's just ready at all times. She sleeps with a gun. She bathes with a gun. She trains with a gun. Goes to the bathroom with a gun. Yeah, is that what happened, Jennifer? He just like gifts her BB-8 and that's it? I think these, what are they called? Vulptex? Would have loved if they were practical. Still freaking awesome looking aliens. It's interesting how much, like, I guess I would call it like spec tech that the First Order has. And come to find out, they've like always had these like big ass ships that could take out planets anyways. I don't know. I think this stuff is cooler. It's like this insane group of people building things based off the Empire's original plans of domination. Like they make insane ATM-6 gorilla walker things more weird and crazy looking with ways to make sure that wires won't like trip them up. They just seem like insane. That's what I liked about the First Order. Also, Gareth Edwards cameo coming in. Here it comes. This guy, R.I.P. What a legend. There he is, Mr. Rogue One. Great acting. He uses his eyes. I believe him. Very good acting. Never seen better. In the trailer, these ships seem so like badass. I was actually a little surprised at how useless they were in this movie, but that's like also kind of the point. Like I'd actually be like, I don't know if I should go in these because maybe just being in this itself will make me die. The white with red though. I mean, yeah, there we go. But my concern was just spoken to within the movie's narrative, so yeah. That's what's so interesting about this movie to me. So these things just like dropped out of the top of the base somewhere. And then there's like little dugouts that like go into the base, apparently. I mean, ATM-6s are pretty dope. Also, Kylo's shuttle. Underrated design. I've always liked it. It's like a Batwing. What he thinks is, Rey's in that mine. Push through. Let's destroy them all. Like, we never see stormtroopers, but the First Order just destroys everything in this movie. Yeah, exactly, Kyle. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know if there's like a bad Star Wars trailer. I like them all. What a shot. Like a true war film in that sound design with all the fire hitting the ground. I think this is arguably the best entrance of the Falcon in the trilogy. It's a shadow, and then it's just like bam. See, and Chewie has his Porg family. And Rey's finally happy. Kylo Ren's so like, or yeah, Kylo Ren. Um, I love that like no matter what he does, everything he tries to run away from just like keeps popping up literally in front of him over various ways. Like, oh, Rey and Luke and the dice and then my father and then my mother and just like relentless. I love this scene through the cave. Oh my god. Best Falcon in the cave ever? I'd say so. I think this was cooler than them going through the Star Destroyer, to be honest. Yeah, I know. The TIE Fighter music is so cool. I do think TLJ had the most like original use of like the new cues, right? It used it more often than the old ones, I feel like. Except for like Kylo Ren and some of the prequel music there. But Kylo Ren's look. Kylo Ren's like, why do you exist? It would suck to be that guy. Just like, shit! I'm dead in Star Wars. Which isn't as bad as being real dead. Because no one's ever really gone. Bo has finally learned his lesson, everybody. Learns when to run. It has happened. Clap. Do not slap. And I like Finn now having to contend with the same issue. People were like, this is inconsistent storytelling. I don't know. I just like... He thinks he's finally doing the right thing, and now he's pulling a Poe. I think the whole trilogy was done with Hux at this point, Taylor. Or Hux had more to do in The Rise of Skywalker and it was cut out. I'm not sure. This music is amazing. Kind of reminds me of like some prequel-ish stuff. Like he thinks it's his duty as this almost traitor defector to sacrifice himself. And then somehow Rose takes him out, then gives him a smooch, and then they're boyfriend and girlfriend, and then that gives Finn anxiety, so they break up immediately. Which was in the scroll of The Rise of Skywalker, of course. Also, people were wondering like how they got back to the base. There's like little cutouts. Oh, Henry Lewis. I never thought that until now. Now I can see that. I can see the similarity, but I mean, what influenced what? Avatar was influenced by Star Wars, so it's like coming full circle. The kiss that made half the fandom go, "Why?" and me just go, "It's fine." See, I kind of feel, even though like I always figured somehow Ben Solo was gonna like be redeemed, I figured this movie kind of definitively set Kylo Ren as the official villain of the next, like the real deal, like top of the line, like now he's the problem villain for the four, like you know what I mean? But then still would be redeemed. A sad scene. Finally gives up hope, and then who shows up? The New Hope. Luke, just like in A New Hope, eventually giving in to the Force. Finally, what's the word? Accepting the call. exchange. He says the same thing to Han too. Changed my hair. Yeah, this music cue is so good. Classic. See, to me, that affirms Luke believes that Ben Solo is still redeemable, regardless of what he says out there, because he's just. I've always been of the mind that this is about confusing Kylo, getting him to bid his time to get his friends out of there, while sacrificing himself in the ultimate sacrifice to save his family and friends. But I think what he says to Leia is the proof that he's not maliciously out there to taunt Kylo. You know, he jokes around with him and fucks with him. But in the end, still thinks that, like, this kid's going to be redeemed. Or eventually will. He's just there to let his nephew get the rage out needed him. Atonement, right? Yeah, the forehead kiss is so good. What a shot here. Literally, he's doing the thing he told Rey he would never do. Yeah, the wink is hilarious. Kylo Ren's like, oh my god. This music, cue, the walk, the beard, the Rogaine, amazing. His image, Christ. I love this reaction too. Just everything they have, obsessively fire on this one individual. Kylo's insane. Yeah, he is frightened. Kylo is frightened. I think it's pretty obvious too in the way that, like, he twitches as he, like, talks to Luke when he's down on the ground. The last time we hear Hux scream, right there. Yeah, exactly, Shahir. I love this. Emerging from, like, the bloody dust, right? Yeah, I think Adam Driver was perfect for Kylo Ren. Look at him. What about the shutter? That's not a dude that's confident that he's about to defeat his uncle. He's gonna go down face him, but I think he's freaked out. Hence the lashing out at Hux. That hilarious scene. Say what you will. I think this entire lightsaber duel, even though people are like, it's not real, he's a ghost. I think this is, like, the best one of the sequel trilogy. Also, I love that that's like a super 8mm camera, because I have that exact one behind me with the 3 different lenses. I always thought that was hilarious. I just, like, noticed it instantly. How, like, angry and pissed he is. Looks like he has like black veins underneath the face too. Stance, the bull stomp. Come on. Luke just ignites the fake blade that he just saw explode. Like, he's just, like, chilling. Luke's doing exactly what Poe is doing, stalling so that people can get to safety. Oh my god. It makes narrative sense. Yeah, I think all of this was about like not harming Kylo, like not being in the presence of another person holding a lightsaber. Like Yoda is beyond a lightsaber, I think Luke is after what he did. I agree. Using I mean, he does appear like his younger self, which I think partly he doesn't want to look like a haggard man, like a broken man. But he also appears to Kylo like the exact way he looked when their whole beef happened. Love that. Follow him. I do think part of Poe's storyline and Tross could have been better if they didn't make the book Rebellion Reborn or whatever the hell it's called. And I feel like they should have had that be part of his growth in the final film, him having to contend with the people that died and the people pissed at him for it. So I want a Vulptex just like as a pet. It'd probably be really hard to pet and potentially painful, but I would try. Jennifer, what probably happened? He's just like was in such a daze that he just like completely forgot. Plus, he's just not thinking rationally because he's so pissed. He doesn't have access to that part of himself anymore. Blind rage at Mr. Uncle who almost killed me, man. Ray's technique on the rock. And Luke looks horrified. He actually does. Also makes no red marks on the ground. Kylo's being mind tricked. The most ridiculous fashion. I love it. Those two strikes are nuts. If you think about it in real time, in like the span of like half a second, he just like delivered two killing blows. Uncle who twisted out of the way. Yeah, the Wilhelm scream is hilarious. Though. The scene's interesting because it always makes me wonder: is Luke helping, or just like we find out in the comic that some people are more open to the Force, which is what I think the real intent is. Kratos is naturally more open to the power the Force can offer in regards to that telekinesis ability. Like it just is so natural to her now that she knows that she can do it, doesn't doubt it. I'm sure you are. Everybody's talking about that in the chat. Look at him shake. Dude's panicking. This line. What a trigger, right? He doesn't want to feel shame and guilt for what he did to his father, but he can't stop feeling it. This whole realization and music and everything, and like this is again hitting that strange, ethereal, Star Warsy thing. I don't know if JG knows how to do this. Like, kind of, this vibe. Where we're all perplexed. This reveal also in the theater had everybody losing their mind. Him just meditating on the rock. Kylo's realization that the technique he thought Rey was using has now been done on him. Beep, 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 beep. I love this music. And him finally realizing, wow, he let everybody get away. So fucking good. I bet somebody live streams this live stream and then like starts going, here's why this man's wrong. I thought this was like a perfect end for Luke. Who agrees? I know some people might not. Like, he can finally kind of forgive himself. He's done what he needed. He saved his sister. In a weird way, you literally could say this movie is the end of the Skywalker saga. Technically. Even though you know, Ben Solo. But like if like the sequel trilogy was like the story of Luke, this is the end of that, kinda. Such a sad fade away. I always think when people fade away into the Force, it's just sad. Especially Ben. Sweater just like slowly decompresses. Everybody's sad. Prequel shots. I love them coming in here. We finally see some troops on the ground. Then that's it. I think those troopers are pretty cool. They're like the snow trooper update. So apparently this was meant to like really be the end of their bond. I don't think so, really. I don't think that would have ever happened. Yeah, I think it's fascinating that the dice stuck around. It's an interesting lingering thread of why is that still around after Luke had already passed on? Is he still being that there just to taunt him even more or to remind him of his father again? Well, we're about to get near the end, guys. Like, even this is like a happy ending, kind of, right? It's only like 12 people on here and everybody died. But it feels a little more Star Wars-y ending than the finale capper. Even though, you know, I like Rey on Tatooine. I don't hate that scene like a lot. The ensembleness of this, I like. Yeah, she does look sad, but there's like that feeling of like happy. Oh, really, Henry? Some two complained. The Trav B, originally that there was a scene of Han placing the dice in TFA that Ryan made his script based off of that shooting script, which they did shoot, they just didn't make it into the final cut. But here it is, guys, it's ending. We're about to see some kitties. I thought this was such a clever ending. These dudes telling the tale. The legend of Luke Skywalker. I mean, this literally could this be the end of the saga. You have no idea how much time has passed, and we're left with a couple of kids talking about the legend that just inspired the galaxy, which is not even mentioned cross, I don't think. And like the last thing we see is another random Force sensitive kid inspired. Boom, the end. Thank you. I love that too. He just pulls the room. What's this dude's name? Mary Blag or Berg or Blurg? Maybe he's half Blurg. He is us. Yeah, I like that there's no subtitles too, because we know what they're saying. Written and directed by Ryan Johnson, aka Satan. To a lot of people, but to me, legend. Well, thanks everybody. This was awesome. How many people we got hanging out? 51? I haven't looked the entire time. Wow. Thank you, 51 people. So now I got to figure out which next one we're gonna do. I think that we should go into prequel land. I think prequel land is where we're gonna go next. It has to happen. Too much OT and sequel stuff on this channel right now. I kind of want to start diving into some old stuff. Solo eventually. If you guys can ever get me to watch Rogue One, maybe. It's not that I don't like how it looks and feels. It's just that I feel like there's just nothing there. That's just me. That's why I've never made a video on it, really. But yeah, this was cool. I get some people might hate The Last Jedi, but I do wonder how many people after seeing Tross is like, I feel like this movie makes more sense, or like this one was they appreciate it more. It seems like some people do, or if they hate it, maybe whatever. But yeah, you know, in a lot of ways, I do like The Rise of Skywalker. I'm not saying it's good with a capital G, but yeah, this is definitely my favorite of the sequel trilogy. People think I'm insane for saying that this is on the same tier with me as Empire. And I also think that some people maybe, I don't know, they want different things out of Star Wars than I want, which is why we all have our unique rankings. But yeah. So anyways, I just want to say thank you to everybody. There's so many people that's chilling right now. I can't say all of your names, but I hope that this has been awesome. It seems like another success. 2 weeks in a row of this. Sorry I had to cancel last time. There's just so much stuff going on last Sunday. Crazy stuff. It's COVID nonsense and just being on lockdown and like having to time out my day sometimes because of new hours is just bananas. So prepare for another poll for some prequel movies. I will be posting that probably tomorrow, as I am going to be celebrating my daughter's first birthday. I can't believe a year is gone. And I also realized like a month ago we did the 2-year celebration. I never even did a stream about a 2 years of the AT-AT chat. So I do want to do that soon and just like watch a couple of videos and make fun of myself. If you guys think that would be fun, I would love to do that, because why not? Some of my old videos suck so bad that I want to watch them and be like, what was I thinking? So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. May the Force be with you. If you live in the future, happy tomorrow. If you live today in my time zone, I hope you have a great afternoon and have a good Saturday night. So may the Force be with you, and I'll see you guys next time.